talk about why I swapped from a hammock to a tent on the Appalachian Trail. And the reason I'm going to cover this is because second to the question about did you carry a gun or pertaining to guns is this exact question from hammock to tent, why? So let's go over that. Alright, so a little bit of backstory on my experience with hammock camping. I had zero. I had no experience whatsoever. I had never slept in a hammock before. I had barely laid in one. Had never laid in one of these E&Os. So I was not experienced. I had never been on an overnight backpacking trip at all though, so really that could be said with a tent. But I had slept in a tent before, you know, car camping. Tents were familiar to me. So why did I decide to go with a hammock? Well, one of my friends said, hey, I have a hammock that you could use for your Appalachian Trail trip and it'll save you a little bit of money. So saving money sounds good to me. I was on a budget. So I decided to go for it. So in addition to the hammock itself, I also have the slap straps. I made a rain fly because you have to stay dry. Made it from like the drop plastic that painters use, duct tape and some ties because again I was on a budget. And you can look up tutorials how to do this here on YouTube. And then also I made a bug net and I started carrying it. You don't even need to at the beginning, but I didn't know that. So I made it out of sheer panels from Walmart. You can also find how to do this online. I don't believe it was a video though. But anyway, so you know, it was kind of crafty to try to save money, but the whole system was quite heavy. In fact, with the hammock, the slap straps, the bug net, and the rain fly all together, my hammock setup was a little bit over 4 pounds total. In addition to it being heavy, due to my lack of experience, I woke up several times with like my butt kind of on the ground, the hammock sagging. Also, it was pretty cold out at that time, and I had a foam pad. You know, some people say to use underquilts, but I couldn't see adding extra weight to an already over 4 pound setup. So I had like a thin foam pad that actually was warm enough as long as I kept my body on the pad. So, you know, if you're a man, for example, you might have a hard time staying warm using that foam pad, just because like if my knee or my foot or something touched the hammock off of the pad, then it got kind of cold. Also, changing in the hammock really wasn't ideal for me. I mean, I'm sure you can imagine, like, you know, you're laying here and you got, you know, trying to do this number and all that. So it's like, all right, well, why not stand up, you know, over or under your rain fly? Well, mine was clear. So, and finally, what do you do with your pack? So I tried sleeping with my pack up under my feet. I tried sleeping with it up under my head, and I just really couldn't get comfortable in the hammock with my pack. So one good idea of what to do with your pack though is if you line your pack with a contractor bag, you can take it out and, you know, stuff it in that, tie it up, or just carry an extra one, they don't weigh that much, and have it just for putting your pack in, rolling it up and then putting it under your hammock. Alright, now before y'all dedicated hammockers start sending me hate comments, I am not bashing hammock camping at all. I saw it work very well for a lot of people. There was a family of 7 that I hiked with. That the youngest was 9 when she started, and the whole family hammock camped the whole time. And honestly, I was very comfortable in the hammock as far as sleeping. It was so nice to get to camp after a long day of hiking and just be able to like, just lounge, you know, and get the pressure off of your knees and your feet. So I really, really enjoyed that. And there are some lightweight hammock camping, you know, made for backpacking options. The main issues that I had with the hammock are probably due to my lack of hammock camping experience. So after a little less than a week of sleeping in the hammock, I got to Neal Gap, which is the first stop if you're going northbound, and they had some tents. And with everything else, you know, that was going on and everything that was new, I just really needed something that I was familiar with. The tent I ended up with was the Big Agnes Fly Creek UL2, which is the 2-person backpacking tent. Alright, so this is my tent. The benefits I found in having a tent were being able to cook under the vestibule here, even, you know, with it closed, so if it's raining. Also to be in my sleeping bag laid down while I'm cooking. Then the fact that I have so much space, like, I don't know if you can really tell, but I mean, there's room for my pack, there's room for me, there's still more room at my feet, and all of this with the piece of Tyvek that I have under it for my footprint and the stakes and the body of the tent itself comes out to like 2.5 pounds. So that's a pretty big difference. It's 1.5 pounds. All right, so here's the grand tour of the tent. You can see this is all the room here, and there's this nice little compartment overhead, so that's the opening, where you can put like a headlamp, you know, if you don't want to wear it the whole time while you're reading or changing or whatever. And then over here, there are these nice little pockets, so you can put your things in, and it's on both sides. And here's a look with the vestibule shut, just to give you an idea. So you can keep your, you know, shoes and I mean just whatever else you want. Even if you got like the one person, you could probably keep your shoes and then your pack, like I was saying, in a contractor bag, like right here. So you have plenty of front porch room. Also, because you're sleeping on the ground, you're more insulated, and your body heat kind of stays trapped in the tent, so it's a lot warmer to sleep in this, for me anyway, versus the setup that I had with my hammock. All right, so you can see I'm sitting up inside of here, and there would be plenty of room to change as opposed to the hammock. You could probably get this tent cheaper than I got it at Mountain Crossings, just because that's the only thing available there and they know it. But I got it for $350, but it was definitely worth the investment for me. But you just have to find out what works for you. All right, so I hope that helps answer why I went from a hammock to a tent and why this worked better for me. Again, y'all might even want to check out like bivvies, or they have like tarp tents, they have now hammock tent combos, you know, so all of those things could work for you better than, you know, anything I talked about today. So you just have to look up pros and cons and decide what works for you, but go ahead and have a little bit of experience if you can. That definitely puts you ahead of the game. So hope this was helpful, and we will see you next time. Okay, so I am here at Amicalola State Park, and I am about to hike the approach trail. Just weighed my pack in and signed the register, so I'm off.